Hey, welcome to Chemistry with Miss E. We are going to continue in our introductory topics of the first 2 weeks of chemistry, and that is dimensional analysis. This is either your favorite topic or your least favorite topic, but either way, I'm going to show you how to do it correctly every single time, and practice makes perfect here. So, dimensional analysis is the fancy way of saying that you're converting units. Right? So when you convert from, days to years or seconds to minutes, that's dimensional analysis. You can do it with inches, centimeters, right? Foot, 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. You can go to yards, miles, you get the point, okay? And there's a process that we're going to use every single time to help us get to that answer, okay? So, let me switch that. Awesome. So, first of all, I want to mention that you are going to be given conversion units, okay? So they should be provided to you whether they're at the top of a worksheet, in the textbook, attached to a formula page to your periodic table, something of that sort. They should be provided to you. You just need to know how to use them, okay? So let's start with the first question. How many pounds are in 28 ounces? If there's one thing you hear from me in this entire video, it's that with dimensional analysis and stoichiometry later in the year, always start with what's given, okay? So 28 ounces here. This is the number and this is the unit. Always start with the number and the unit that are provided to you in the question, okay? And that helps because students say, I don't even know where to start. Start with the given values. So I'm going to write 28 and then I'm going to write ounces. I'm going to put OZ because that's the abbreviation for ounces. And then you're going to form this thing that we like to call a T-chart. These T-charts are amazing. They help keep your work organized, and if you look at it and do it correctly every single time, then you're going to get the answer, okay? So 28 ounces, I'm turning this into a T-chart. Technically, this would be over 1. I forget to put the 1 there a lot of times. Do whatever floats your boat. Here's the most important step after this. As soon as you write the number and the unit, you need to bring the unit, not the number, you need to bring the unit down to the bottom of the next one. So I need to bring ounces down. And now I think to myself, okay, is there anything that I can get from ounces to pounds, since that's what the question's asking for? Is there anything here in the provided conversions that get me from ounces to pounds? I check here, I don't see anything about ounces or pounds. Checking on the right side, 1 pound equals 16 ounces, okay? So I'm going to use that to do my step here. Ounces will be on the bottom, pounds will be up top, LBS is the abbreviation for pounds, and I'm going to put these numbers in, okay? So 1 pound, so 1 pound is 16 ounces, so 16 ounces here. Okay, so I've created a T-chart, right? Just like if this were a fraction, you're going to multiply your tops and divide your bottoms, okay? Here's what's really cool about this. I can see my units canceling. Ounces got divided by ounces, and my answer is going to be pounds, and that's what the question asked for. So I'm done here. This is a one-step dimensional analysis problem. So let's go ahead and plug it into the calculator. Again, you multiply the tops and divide by the bottom. So I'm going to do 28. I would do times 1, but that's a little bit irrelevant. Divided by, you could do divided by 1 if you want, and divided by 16, since 16 is in the bottom. I get 1.75 as my answer. Okay, so I get 1.75 pounds. Now, if you've seen my video on significant figures and your teacher is big on significant figures, you are going to want to round this because you match the amount of sig figs that are in your problem. I'm not going to go into too much detail here because I'm focusing on dimensional analysis, but 28 has 2 sig figs, so I would actually need to round this up to 1.8 to also have 2 sig figs, and then I would put pounds as my answer and box it. No naked answers. Make sure you have a unit on every single problem that you do, okay? All right, let's move on to number 2 and let's level up a little bit here. How many centimeters are in 98 feet? So again, where do I start? With the given value and the given unit. 98 feet. I'm going to write 98 feet. T-chart it, continue on. Feet comes down to the bottom. Always, it has to. It should be like clockwork, like muscle memory. And then I'm going to say, okay, is there anything about feet to centimeters in the provided conversions? I see feet to yards, I see feet to miles, I see feet to inches, and then, inches to centimeters. So while I don't have a direct feet to centimeter conversion, I can go to inches, and then from inches get to my centimeters, okay? You see the point, you see the logic here? Just find the quickest path to get from point A to point B. Feet will go to the bottom. As we said, we're actually going to go to inches first, so inches will go on the top, and I plug in my true conversion unit that's happening here. How many inches are in a foot, right? 1 foot, 12 inches. So 1 on the bottom, 12 on the top. If I stop here, my answer will be inches. That's not what the question asked for, but I am getting closer. I need centimeters. So I'm going to continue on. That's totally fine. Add another part to your T-chart. And again, same thing. Top unit comes down to the bottom. So bring down your inches. From your inches, we are now going to get to centimeters because I do have a conversion that goes between the two. So I'm going to put centimeters at the top. So 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. 1 inch, 2.54 centimeters. Make sure the numbers match up to the unit that they belong to. Okay, if I stop here, right, feet will cancel, inches will cancel, and I'm left with centimeters. Again, that's what the question asked for, so let's go ahead and do the math in the calculator. Multiply your tops, divide by your bottoms. Both of my denominators are at 1 here, so I'm really not dividing anything. I'm actually just doing 98 times 12 times 2.54. 2,987, okay? So 2,987.04. Now again, sig figs, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sig figs right now. The number they gave us in the problem only has 2 sig figs, so I need to round this a little bit more. So we're going to actually round this to become, ooh, this is going to be tricky. 2 sig figs would be 2,900, but the problem is the 8 rounds that up. So technically it would be, I would have to go to 3,000, but that has only 1 sig fig. So actually I'm going to have to do scientific notation here. So I'm actually going to have to do 3.0 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3 to the 3rd power, and that gives me 2 sig figs and then centimeters, okay? Again, if you haven't learned sig figs yet, don't worry about it. As long as you can get this T-chart set up in your answer, you're good to go, okay? All right, number 3. How many days is 45,100 seconds, okay? So we're going from the given unit, 45,100 seconds. This one you might be able to do with knowledge based off of your mind, right? So I'm going to do seconds, okay? So seconds comes down to the bottom. What do I know that is true about seconds? I don't necessarily know off the top of my head how many seconds are in a day, but I do know how many seconds are in a minute, right? I do know that in 1 minute it is 60 seconds. Okay, getting closer. Continuing on with my T-chart, minutes comes down. And then I can go, ooh, I know how many minutes are in an hour, right, which I can get closer to a day. So 1 hour, right, is 60 minutes. And now I do know how many hours are in a day, right? So hour comes down, right, and day up top. 1 day is 24 hours, right? So see this trend, seconds, seconds, minutes, minutes, hour, hour. While the up and downs in each of my T-charts are the true conversion factor statements. We're going to be left with days. That's what the question asked for. So let's go ahead and multiply our tops and divide our bottoms. So in my calculator, I will be doing 45,100 times 1 times 1 times 1, irrelevant, divided by 60, divided by 60, divided by 24, okay? I get 0.521991. Now again, sig figs, this is 3 sig figs. There's no decimal, so those zeros don't count. So I'm actually going to do 0.52, round that 9 up on the 1, so 0.522 will be my answer for days. So 0.522 days. So about half a day. That's 45,100 seconds. Like, follow, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.